just
So maybe
is going.
Hello and welcome to Inside Jacksonville, a production of the University of North Florida's School of Communication and the CW17. I'm Dave Dealey.
And I'm Bruce Hope. We're here each month for stories about life on our favorite coast, the First Coast.
Residents of Jacksonville satisfy their hunger for cinema in theaters all over the city. But back in 1948, one theater caused an uproar that the community wasn't expecting. Inside Jacksonville's Jessica Voles explains how a movie venue from days gone by still resonates.
You've probably used Google Maps to find a movie theater around town, but what you probably haven't done is use the same map to look for the remains of a drive-in theater that once was a hot spot for Jacksonville locals. In 1948, the theater was built and originally named the Cedar Hills Drive-In.
When Furman Birchfield bought the drive-in back in 1969, he tried to name it the Playboy, and he got a visit or some communication from Hugh Hefner's attorneys, and that's when he changed it to the Playtime.
The former staff claims they did everything that they could to keep the place running.
The properties became more valuable than the operation. Once that and the city started encroaching on the properties, because we all started outside of city limits, or as far as we could, so we could have the privacy that we needed.
Here at the 6300 block of Blanding Boulevard, behind me, you can see what remains of the Playtime 3 drive-in theater.
In March of 2008, the current owner was shot during a burglary, and in May, the property was sold to a church.
The church actually found old movie reels, and then they had this massive bonfire, and they burnt them and made national news. They said things about releasing the devils into the air and so on.
The property continues to be closed to the public and is up for sale. Jessica Voles, Inside Jacksonville.
For an insider's view, we have exclusive interviews with a former employee of the Cedar Hill Drive-In. It's on our website at unftv.com.
The Riverside Arts Market is a fun way for families to spend a Saturday afternoon. This market is home to local farmers, artists, and live music. Inside Jacksonville's Isaiah Jenkins has more on what this market has to offer.
Every Saturday, the Jacksonville Riverside Arts Market hosts a market event showcasing a variety of small businesses, farmers, band artists, and more. For those in the Jacksonville community looking for a fun way to spend an afternoon post-Hurricane Dorian, the Riverside Arts Market is a great choice.
Everyone can, put everything aside and come together and just enjoy art.
Over 4,000 guests come out and enjoy art, music, and fresh produce. Located directly under the Fallen Warren Bridge is the Riverside Amphitheater, which sits 350 guests and features hours of live music performances. Even yoga can be enjoyed every Saturday before the main event kicks off at 10 a.m.
But the real show is the live band concerts and performances that occur here. Local Jacksonville artists come together, and if you're a local Jacksonville artist looking for some exposure or your chance to play music, you can do so right here at the Riverside Arts Market.
The Riverside Arts Market, if people haven't been to the Riverside Arts Market, they're making a huge weekend mistake. Every Saturday from 10 to 3, this thing is just fabulous. The vendors that come here, the music that's here, to eat off one of the food trucks, shop the vendors, walk around and come sit and listen to some great music. It's a blast every Saturday.
As Hurricane Dorian passes, many people and organizations in the Jacksonville community have engaged in relief efforts, such as Florida Blue and local grocery stores. The Riverside Arts Market helps hands-on in relief efforts. Senior Manager John Severa highlights several RAM amenities.
For Autumn and I, because we manage the market, this is kind of like our palette. So my favorite thing is like seeing what we can create, from by the time we get here 6 in the morning till 10 with all of our farmers and our artists that come in. So, it's like a moving puzzle every Saturday. So I love puzzles. So I think that's probably my favorite part, believe it or not.
Jacksonville Riverside's Arts Market has been the 6-time winner of Folio's Best of Jacksonville Award for Best Farmers Market. What do those vendors and farmers think of the event? And what makes them unique from anywhere else?
What I do is I make plant-based foods. I make them from what nature gives me. I do a lot of nut butters, plant-based milks. I also have a Brazilian cacao. It has Brazil nuts, sprouted pumpkin seeds, dates, cacao, cinnamon, and sea salt. So it's like a chocolate Brazil nuts pumpkin seed milk.
Great gourmet mac and cheese products. Everything is made from scratch. Everything is made daily. Our main features are our spicy mac bites that are lightly fried, made with fresh jalapeno peppers. We also have bacon bites that are completely wrapped in bacon. We have a seafood mac with lobster, shrimp, and scallops. I even make a vegan mac.
The Jacksonville Riverside Arts Market has something for everybody. Whether it's morning yoga, farmer's row, art, or music, they've got it all to make your day a great one. Isaiah Jenkins, Inside Jacksonville.
More information on who is coming to the Riverside Arts Market each weekend, go to unftv.com.
Coming up, we're taking a closer look at what's brewing on the First Coast.
Also, after the break, we'll visit with one small business making a big impact with our Hispanic community.
Welcome back to Inside Jacksonville.
Coming up, we'll take a look at some other big stories in the Jacksonville community.
When it comes to navigating the road to small business success, it's always nice to have a supportive helping hand. There's an organization doing exactly that for the First Coast Hispanic community. Inside Jacksonville's Valeria Rodriguez introduces us to some of those businesses and the journey they're going through.
Jacksonville has grown and diversified a lot in the last 15 years. One of the communities that has grown and evolved the most is the Jacksonville Hispanic community. Veronica Bolado moved from Argentina 12 years ago and has been a witness of all the changes.
I mean, you were walking in the streets and you hardly listen to Spanish speakers. And now it's all over the place.
As the community grows, so do the small businesses they have created in the city. But creating a business in a city with a different culture and with a primarily different language is not easy. Raul Arias is the owner of a Cuban restaurant called Mambo's Cafe, and he has personally experienced some of those struggles.
What struggles do we have? I think it was just being new to the city. We moved here in 2005, and shortly after I got out of the Navy in 2007, we opened up the restaurant, and it was just trying to figure out where we were going to open up the restaurant, trying to obtain the funding, and just, knowing what part of town we wanted to open up the restaurant at.
The city is aware of all the struggles the small businesses have. That is why they have provided the Small Business Development Center with resources to help. Veronica is a consultant at the SBDC that focuses on Hispanic businesses.
The Hispanic businesses have been growing a lot the last 5 years, and the center decided to have a direct approach to this community.
The Small Business Development Center works hard to meet the needs of everyone that comes to their office. Whether it's a new or existing business, they are ready to use all the resources to make sure small businesses in Jacksonville reach their full potential. The SBDC gives owners of small businesses training through workshops and other courses to ensure they are successful. Bolado focuses on helping the Hispanic community, but the SBDC has consultants that can help any type of small business.
Well, they helped us out in regards to getting information, programs as to how to run the business and how to operate, just resources that most businesses will need.
The SBDC has helped thousands of small businesses in Jacksonville, and Raul is one of their success stories.
If you have a business idea, you are very welcome to come here. If you're already in business, you are very welcome to come here. I mean, we can help you in any stage of your business.
Inside Jacksonville, Valeria Rodriguez.
Whether you need help with an established business or a new one, you can find more information by going to unftv.com.
While getting a little taste of being a professional golfer, Dylan Board is looking to take the next step in his career. Inside Jacksonville's Troy Hollinger has more on how this college athlete is creating his own success story.
Growing up, golf was life for young Dylan Board, with only one goal in mind, becoming a professional. Board got a little taste of being a pro golfer as he earned his Mackenzie Tour card in 2016.
The Mackenzie Tour is like, essentially, if you're breaking it down baseball-wise, it's like the AA of golf. So you got like the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. The Mackenzie Tour is like the AA of golf.
In 2018, Board was looking to accomplish a new goal, and that was sustaining his pro card.
Essentially, you just don't make enough money. I didn't get enough starts to even make enough money, so that's essentially how I lost it.
The minor setback hasn't stopped Board from his overall goal. He has been working tirelessly to retain his pro status. Board already has quite the resume, racking up numerous wins and honors throughout both his college and his amateur playing days. In his time at Coastal Georgia, he racked up a second-team NAIA All-American honors while also being first-team All-Conference, winning NAIA Player of the Week and finishing the 2015-2016 season as the SSAC Player of the Year. He also holds the record for the lowest 36-hole score in school history.
I realized that I had a pretty decent talent when I made it to number one player in the country and made the top 10 list for the Arnold Palmer Cup my sophomore year.
After his college success, Board spent 6 months as an amateur competing in tournaments across the Southeast.
One of my proudest moments is when I shot 63 to come back from 5 shots down to win the Florida Azalea.
His training involves repetition and numerous swing and stance exercises.
So essentially, most of the time when I'm practicing, I'm just going to use a towel and I'm just going to kind of tuck it under both arms. What that does is it keeps you connected. You don't ever want, you don't want to be swinging and you take it up and then like your arms are like way out here. A lot of amateurs are out here and their arms are connected, and it creates the golf club to go in a bunch of different directions, and you don't want that. So the towel, what that does, you keep it here, keep it up under, and you turn, and you should be able to keep the towel up and under the entire golf swing.
After a rough day of training, or when he is thinking of giving it up, Board turns to his fiance for moral support.
I think it's very important because you know that you have somebody in your corner all the time supporting you through the good and the bad things through your sport.
Having his back as he attempts the journey to regain his pro status takes quite a toll on his #1 fan.
It was a little stressful, especially when he first started, just because I wanted him to do good in what he was when he was playing and that kind of thing.
With all of his training, what's next for Dylan Board?
Just grinding. Trying to figure it out, working right now, and hopefully get a chance to try to get my card back.
Troy Hollinger, Inside Jacksonville.
To find out even more ways this golfer wants to take his dream to the next level, go to unftv.com.
Jacksonville is home to over 20 microbreweries, and sampling all that variety can be a challenge. Inside Jacksonville's Connor Sweeney shows us how you can plan a successful tour, one stop and one sip at a time.
Jacksonville is known for many things, from having a boat-friendly community with our many waterways to being home to the Jacksonville Jaguars. But what some people may not know is how big our beer culture is. With so many independent breweries, the team at Visit Jacksonville has found a way to help shed a light on the culture through the use of the Jax Ale Trail and the Jacksonville Brew Bus.
December 2014 was the launch of the Jax Ale Trail, and at that time we launched with 8 craft breweries in the city. And what we wanted to do was be able to tell the rest of the world that Jacksonville is a great craft beer destination, and that if you come here and explore, you'll have a great opportunity to try a lot of different things.
The Ale Trail consists of 18 breweries throughout Jacksonville, providing participants with an opportunity to try a variety of unique brews from locations such as Intuition Ale Works and Bottlenose Brewing. Each one offers their own twists and flavors of beers, adding flavorful, seasonal ingredients.
And that's what those 88 pounds of fresh blueberries gonna look like. Just big purple, super tasty, tastes like a fresh blueberry. So,
for each of these locations, you can bring an Ale Trail passport to redeem prizes. This is a Jax Ale Trail Brewery Passport. Now, tourists will go around to different breweries, and when they make a purchase, all they have to do is show it to the bartender, have it stamped, and you're good to go. To get to these different locations, the Brew Bus offers a safe alternative to go beer hopping. It's also a great way to meet people.
The Jax Brew Bus takes people to local craft breweries and gets them to try 3 to 5 different beers at each stop. Our goal is to get people to try breweries they typically would try on their own and to also try beers they typically wouldn't try on their own.
As part of the tour, you get to try 10 to 12 beers while building community and helping local businesses. Connor Sweeney, Inside Jacksonville.
To find out which breweries are participating around Jacksonville, go to unftv.com.
Coming up next on Inside Jacksonville, we'll take a look at how women in the workplace are becoming more comfortable in their own skin.
The first story we'll look at after the break is an adoption story that one owner says defies stereotypes.
Welcome back to Inside Jacksonville.
Later, we'll take a look into how some women are finally starting to feel comfortable letting their hair down at work.
But first, we'll look into how one dog's adoption story is trying to change the minds of others. Despite being misunderstood by many, this Jacksonville dog recently found his new home. Inside Jacksonville's Victoria Reed gives you a closer look into his adoption history.
Bullet is a 5-year-old bully-bred dog that was adopted a week ago, who likes to stay close to his new owner and munch on bacon treats.
Bullet is very chill, very laid back. He's not really hype until somebody knocks on the door. He's just relaxed unless he sees a cat. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better dog.
Bullet was adopted right here at the Jacksonville Humane Society. He was brought here earlier this year because his previous owners could no longer care for him. Adult dogs sometimes have a hard time being placed in a home, especially when they're bully-bred like Bullet.
A lot of people don't want to adopt an adult dog. They assume that because they're in the shelter and they're an adult dog that there's something wrong with them, and that couldn't be further from the truth. It's generally just a situation in life that the dog wound up in the shelter, and so adopting adult dogs are great because most of the time they're already house trained, just like Bullet was, and we are able to get more information, just like Bullet's owner told us that, he loved children and he loved snuggles, so that helped us, find him a great home.
Initially, Samantha was a little skeptical about adopting Bullet. Several people told her it was a bad idea.
Everybody warned me not to do that. Everybody that I talked to, because I've been asking everybody if they knew where we could find puppies from, and they was just like, don't get no grown pit, you're going to regret it, because you're not going to be able to control it. But he's so chill, he's not like anything anybody said he would be.
There are a lot of stereotypes about bully breed type dogs. People think that they might be dangerous or aggressive because of what they've seen in the media. But here at JHS, we label every dog a mixed breed because we, unless we run a DNA test, we really can't tell you. So mixed breed is as honest as we can be. And we treat all dogs like individuals.
Samantha says Bullet is a sweet dog who is well trained. He's proof that adopting an adult dog, no matter the breed, can be a great idea.
When it comes to, looking for a dog, we always encourage people not so much to focus on breed, but to focus on the behaviors and the characteristics they see in that particular pet.
Victoria Reed with Inside Jacksonville.
It's always nice to see a pet find a good home. For more information on pet adoption, lending a hand, or donations, go to unftv.com.
Many businesses all over the country are becoming less strict when it comes to professional hairstyles in the workplace. Inside Jacksonville's Doriel Gale Corley shows us how some women in our community are taking matters into their own hands.
July, California became the first state to outlaw racial discrimination based on the hairstyle. Governor Gavin Newsom signed a bill into the law that legally protects people in workplaces and K-12 public schools from discrimination based on their natural hair. The new law takes effect January 1st, outlaws the enforcement of grooming policies that disproportionately affect people of color. This includes bans on certain hairstyles, such as afros, braids, twists, cornrows, and dreadlocks. Natural hair has gained a lot of attention from black women and men. It had been banned all across the U.S. where people even lost their jobs. Many businesses are now accepting diversity when it comes down to natural hair. Kim Pringle is a Jacksonville reporter for WJXT, and she's been natural since 2018. Pringle recently attended the National Association of Black Journalists Conference in Miami, Florida, where she discovered a group of women with different natural hairstyles. Pringle and a group of ladies got together to take a few group photos showing off their natural hairstyles.
My name is Lena Pringle, and I am an anchor reporter here at Channel 4 WJXT in Jacksonville. It's interesting because when I made the decision to go natural, it was solely based off of just like how I wanted to live my life. So I went to my boss and I said, listen, I want to go natural. I'm very happy to be a part of this movement. I'm very happy to be a part of a group of people that are breaking barriers and changing the status quo and literally demanding that people take these curls.
Durant had her natural hair for more than 14 years now, and she had experienced being discriminated against wearing her natural hair. Durant can now embrace her natural curls and enjoy wearing her natural hair because she stood up for what she believed.
So I feel like with natural hair, it's becoming more and more accepted, I'll say, in the workplace. So for me, I've been natural. I returned natural in about 2005. As a young black girl, you're told, you know, growing up, not to wear your hair curly, not to wear your natural hair. It's unprofessional. You have to have it straight. Well, we were conditioned to wear our hair this certain way, not realizing that for one, it's not really healthy for your body, and for two, it's programming us to think, well, what is really considered to be beautiful?
Changes being made toward diversity and inclusion in the workforce today. Men and women can begin to feel more confident in expressing themselves without adhering to a restrictive policy or discriminatory standard. Doriel Gail Corley, Inside Jacksonville.
To find out how the wave of natural hair is impacting not only Jacksonville, but other parts of the country, go to unftv.com. And obviously, Bruce, we are not the experts in hair. It's short or gone.
Yeah, that sounds about right, Dave. Well, that's going to be a wrap on this edition of Inside Jacksonville.
If you missed anything from today's program, just visit our website, unftv.com, where you'll find expanded versions of our stories, photos, interviews, and other extras. Again, that's unftv.com.
You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at InsideJacksUNF. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks so much for watching. We hope to see you right back here again next month on Inside Jacksonville.
Good.